Thanks so much to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We have surpassed 20,000 subscribers. Feel like it took forever. And if you guys didn't see, yesterday I chugged a beer, did 20 push-ups, chugged another beer. We're going to see if it happened in under 2 minutes or less. Make sure you go check out yesterday's video. All right, we have got a great show coming up for you. It's another Michigan Football Report mailbag coming up right now. And today's show is presented by Aura All-in-One Digital Safety Security. You've got probably 90 passwords for everything you do out there on the internet. Aura and Chat Sports, we are here to help protect you. Go get a 14-day free trial. Go to aura.com/chatsports. I'll tell you a little bit more about the great benefits you get with Aura here in a few moments coming up on the show. But want to get into today's mailbag. We took questions from our Facebook page and from you here on YouTube and Rumble. So first question coming in from my guy Luis Papp from the Facebook page. He says, I say Michigan repeats as Big Ten champions. What do you think? Well, it is a good question, and considering Michigan went on a 17-year drought between Big Ten championships, was on on the cusp in 2006, and obviously quite a few years in between there with Jim Harbaugh, 2016, 2018, headed into Ohio State. When you win the Big Ten or win the Big Ten East, go to the Big Ten championship game and a playoff position, lost both those games, finally got it done at home in 2021. So the question that's out there that I think is most important when you think about things as a Michigan football fan is, was 2021 a fluke, right? Coming off last year, Jim Harbaugh had some stability, right? A defensive coordinator, first-year guy, but someone he knew, who his brother knew, in Mike McDonald, has moved on. You could call Josh Gattis the offensive coordinator if you want. I don't know if he really was last year, but he's moved on to Miami. And Jim Harbaugh lost a ton of momentum in recruiting, potentially more momentum with just the cohesiveness of this team when he dabbled with the NFL throughout January. And I want to know, my big question here was that win over Ohio State a one-time thing, or will it become a norm, right? Not necessarily a norm win every year, but at least win once out of every 2 or 3 years going forward with Jim Harbaugh, crazy enough, heading into his 8th year as the Michigan football head coach. So I don't think it's a guarantee, and I certainly think they're not going to be favored to win the Big Ten because Ohio State's bringing back a Heisman-level quarterback and probably the best offense in the country, or one of the best offenses in the country, and the game is in Columbus. So we will see what happens. I think Michigan's got, let's just call it a 1-in-3 chance to be the defending, to defend their Big Ten championship this season. If you guys haven't yet, you saw Luis's question came in from the Facebook page. We put a ton of stuff on our Facebook page. Over 65,000 of you are following that page. So make sure you go and follow the page. The link is right down there at the bottom of the screen. It's called, the Michigan Football Report. I think it's called Michigan Wolverines by Chat Sports is the official name on Facebook. But the link right there, facebook.com/Harbaugh Go Blue. I'll put it down in the comments and the description of today's video. Let's talk a little more about 2021, all right? Jim Harbaugh kind of broke through last year in a lot of different ways, right? Got the monkey off the back by winning some road games against ranked teams, some road games in back-to-back weeks against Wisconsin, Nebraska, a come-from-behind road win in a ruckus environment, Penn State. Got the big win, of course, against Iowa in the Big Ten championship game, coming off the Ohio State win 42-27 at home. So I think certainly that Jim Harbaugh and Michigan, got a lot of monkeys off their back last year, and with a lot of experience, maybe not the best experience or super proven experience when it comes statistically, but a lot of experience coming back on offense and enough talent and experience coming back on defense that they should be favored in pretty much, I would say, every game they'll be favored going throughout the season, unless they start losing a bunch of games until that game in Columbus last Saturday in November. So we'll see what happens. And you see the bottom of the screen coming up, and I'll tell you about more about that company-wide like battle. It's yet national like a YouTube video month. So make sure you give this video a like. I'll update the standings that we talked about, me battling against some of the other channels here at Chat Sports. But to answer this question, will Michigan repeat as Big Ten champions? If you think yes, go ahead and like the video. Hell, like the video either way, right? The call to action there helps get the likes up. If you don't think they will, like the video anyways, then go down in the comments and type N. Question coming in from the YouTube page. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Nijidniladar. He says, start JJ and the offense has no ceiling, right? Michigan football offense to the moon. Kind of. Start Cade McNamara and the offense will be about the same as last year. Certainly, I think a reasonable take, right? We know what we're going to get with this Michigan football offense with Cade McNamara as the starting quarterback. But he's not going to have Hassan Haskins, so I'm going to talk about here in a second. But I first want to talk about J.J. McCarthy, right? All these expectations, I think from what I've seen from the Michigan fan base this offseason is pretty much everybody universally is just saying, oh, JJ is going to be the starting quarterback, whether it's game 1 or game 3. He's the guy this year. Cade McNamara, the Big Ten championship quarterback, he's out the window. But can J.J. McCarthy live up to these unrealistic expectations, right? I've heard guys like Sloppy Sam and others who used to compare Joe Milton. They were saying he's the next Cam Newton. Now they're comparing J.J. McCarthy. He's the next Trevor Lawrence. He's the next Joe Burrow. All these pundits and scribes out there putting too many unrealistic expectations on J.J. McCarthy. And it's not just the scribes and the pundits and the radio guys and the blog boys. It's you, the Michigan football fans, who, if you like J.J. McCarthy, you like Michigan football, you're going to love Aura because just like Michigan's offensive line protects McCarthy, protects McNamara, Aura protects you online. You do more online than ever, folks. Have you ever let someone borrow your Netflix password? Hell, not just Netflix. You probably have over 25, 30, sometimes people have as many as 90 or 100 different online passwords. And if they get on the dark web or if someone gets one of them, they could potentially access multiple of your accounts. Get going with Aura. Aura keeps your identity secure with extensive monitoring of your personal info. The dark web, your credit reports, monitors your credit cards, your debit cards, your bank accounts. Is anyone making transactions over any set limits or suspicious transactions? Get going with Aura. I've been using them for about 6-7 weeks now. It's already caught multiple times. My identity has been, put out there on the dark web, people making unauthorized charges on my credit cards. 14-day trial, Aura.com/chatsports. Get going with Aura, Aura.com/chatsports. I will link it down in the comments and the description of today's video. That's a pretty interesting username here, Little D. I don't know if you know what that means out there. I don't know if you want to call yourself Little D, but he's a proud American, so it counteracts the Little D part, I guess. JJ is better QB than McNamara. He is too inconsistent and not good at reading the defense. I think he's talking about McNamara there, since he said Cade is the better quarterback, although a little punctuation might help there, Little D. Want to look at the stats last year, right? J.J. McCarthy is going into his sophomore season as a Michigan player. Cade McNamara, his 4th year, but crazy enough, also eligibility-wise, will be a sophomore since the COVID year of 2020 didn't count. But remember, he has only thrown 59 passes in his Michigan football career, has J.J. McCarthy. A couple more beauties, right? He had a couple beauties to Andrell Anthony, one against Michigan State, one in the college football playoff. He had a couple beauties to Dalen Baldwin. But still, 59 passes in his college football career, and in some of the biggest moments for J.J. McCarthy, Michigan State game, he really came up short. Remember that fumble or 2 fumbles against Michigan State? Could have potentially cost Michigan the game. You see them out on the screen, folks. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I want to update you guys on that company-wide like battle. Next question. Coming in from Alex, he says the offense has the potential to be the top of the Big Ten along with Ohio State. And with the depth returning at wide receiver and backs, I think we can score points. Cade's a good quarterback, but JJ reminds him of Trevor Lawrence. All right, that's what I was saying, right? You got the radio guys, the blog boys reminding him of Trevor Lawrence. Alex saying that Cade McNamara or J.J. McCarthy is reminding him of Trevor Lawrence. It's reminding me a lot of summer of 2020, right? Also, we're hearing all this buzz about Joe Milton. Oh, Joe Milton could throw the ball 85 yards from his knees. Joe Milton's the strongest arm in Michigan football history. Joe Milton turned out to be a complete scrub, right? But if J.J. McCarthy gets the nod from game 1, I want to take a look at what the expectations should be, at least my expectations of him as a passer going into this season. So toss them up on the screen here. Here's my projected stats for J.J. McCarthy this year. If he's a starter, right? 450 passing attempts. Now, I'm basing that on Michigan playing 14 games just like they did last year, right? We'll maybe say, okay, they might make the Big Ten championship. Could be 13. We'll see. But I've got him, if he's going to be the starter, Michigan has to throw the ball at least 3 to 5 times more per game, right? That would get him up there in the low 30s passing attempts per game, get him up to about 450. I think he'll throw at about 63 to 66% clip, 3,360 yards, a random number, but, there's a little math goes into it. 31 touchdowns, which would be, crazy enough, a Michigan football all-time single-season record, and I'm just projecting 8 interceptions. That, of course, if he unseats Cade McNamara as your starting quarterback for Michigan. So let me know what you guys think, though, from those stats, right? I'm just kind of pulling those from thin air, but if he's the starter from day 1, I think that signals to me that Michigan feels much stronger about him throwing the ball, and they would, as an offense, given they don't have Hassan Haskins, would throw the ball more. So let me know what you think of my expectations, and answer this question down in the comments, folks. It's the most important question of this football season, in this offseason, of course. Who will be the starter in the opener against Colorado State, September 3rd, high noon, in the Big House? Cade McNamara, if you think it's Cade, go ahead and type CM. If you think it's going to be JJ McCarthy, go down and type JJ in the comments. Leave some commentary there. Let me know why you think it's either one of these guys. Michigan Marv said he's glad to see speed and space is gone every week under the last offensive coordinator. Gaddis, the total bum. The offense would look different, and not in a good way, and that's very true. I don't know too much about 2021. When I don't necessarily believe Gaddis was the true offensive coordinator. But if you look at 2019, an absolute disaster. And 2021, right, came out of that first game against Minnesota, looked like the best offense in the country, and then just couldn't do anything after that, right? So it was very strange once teams got some tape on 2020, when teams got tape on this Josh Gaddis offense in 2020. It was, after game one, it was completely shut down. And I think what they ran last year really wasn't anything about what Josh Gaddis wanted to run at Michigan. So I really think that Jim Harbaugh put together an offensive strategy, and whether or not Gaddis ran the play, called the plays or not, I think, doesn't really matter at this point. Predict for me, though, down in the comments, how many points per game will Michigan average on offense in 2022? With some of you guys, most of you guys saying that Michigan's offense is going to be so much better with J.J. McCarthy as the starting quarterback next year. You got to be projecting they're going to score, 42, 43, 45 points a game, like teams like Ohio State and Alabama and Oklahoma routinely score, or higher. So let me know down in the comments, how many points per game will Michigan's offense average this season? Updating you guys, like I mentioned a couple times in the video, on the company-wide like battle. I have been paired against these 5 channels, 5 of the 28 we here have at Chat Sports. And I was, I think, 3rd last week, and a couple of these channels, us included, have pulled away. So you've got our Chiefs Report channel, and they do a live show, so they've got a little bit of an advantage. Nevertheless, we're only, 98 behind them in likes so far this month, likes in the videos. Giants now, we're just completely dominating them. Browns Report, Broncos Breakdown. You might say, those bottom 3 channels, James, are those run by interns who barely even work here? No, those are full-time guys who run those channels. Can't even get likes on their videos if their life's dependent on it, so we've blown right past them. We're coming up in the Chiefs Report, only 100 away. So, like the one guy did last week in the comments, he said, James, I like the video. I like the last 5 videos, and I created a burner YouTube account and liked 5 videos there. Be like him. Don't be like those Broncos and Giants viewers. Go like today's video. Let's get up there, be number 1 in this likes battle by next week. It's National Like a YouTube Video Month, and I think the Michigan Football Report, just like in the Big Ten standings, is going to end up being number 1 in this company-wide like battle.